All right, everybody. Sorry about the delay. I was getting logged in here, and Kevin got tied up, so he won't be joining us on this one. But let's get here started right now. Today, we're gonna actually talk about how we use private money to create seller finance notes, right? So basically, how we use private money to go and acquire properties and then sell them seller financing and create instant cash flow. So 1 second right here. Let me get you guys comments and stuff up so I can see them. We can get in here and get started. All right. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about private money. So last week we had David Day on, a good friend of mine, and he kind of came on and talked about the private money mastermind group. Which if you guys are interested in that group, reach out to us on our Facebook group at Shut Up and Invest, and we can get you guys some information about that in there. But today I want to come on and talk about how we actually use private money, how we raise private money, and then how we leverage that private money to create cash flow through our seller finance notes. So I'm gonna break a deal down, and then if you guys want to come on here and ask questions, or if you have any deals you want to talk about, then we can definitely talk about that. What's up? What's up, Milan? What's up, guys? Good to see you guys. So this is the first time that I've actually ran the actual StreamYard studio. So let me know if it's looking good on the other side. Hopefully it is. We'll wait a few seconds to get some other people in here, and then we'll get going. So I'm gonna pull up a little PowerPoint real quick. That's gonna kind of show you guys this deal I'm gonna talk about right now. This deal that we're talking about today is actually a deal that we got probably a few months ago. I never broke it down though, but we got this deal a few months ago. Pretty interesting deal. It was a 3-unit plus an auto shop. So it was a 3-unit and an auto shop on one parcel, right? So 3-unit apartment plus an auto shop. We got this deal from a tire landlord. We got actually 2 deals from him. We got this 3-unit plus a body shop, plus we got another 2-unit from him. And we went out and bought these with private financing, and then we sold them on land contracts. So we're now holding a note on this property. So we're going to kind of break down some details from that deal, get into that. And if you guys have any questions, or if you have any deals you want to talk about, we can talk about that today. So let me get to the PowerPoint real quick. I'll share my screen with you guys. All right, there you go. So this deal we got in Michigan. This was actually in Kalamazoo, Michigan. One of our big markets that we're in right there. And again, like I said, it was a 3-unit plus a body shop, right? We actually got this deal for $44,000, about $42,000. Then with closing costs, it came out to $44,394 at the end of the day. So that's what we actually ended up paying for this deal. The actual 3-unit property, 2 of the 3 units were occupied and currently cash flowing and renting. One of the units was not rented out, and then the auto body shop was actually closed. So we paid $44,394 for the actual property. That includes closing costs, right? We got private money at 100%. So zero money out of our pocket again, all right? Zero money out of our pocket. Just like on the wraps, we have zero money out of the pocket using sellers financing or with our private lenders, right? And these are private lenders, private individuals who we have gone to and showed them our model, showed them what we're doing. They're interested in that model. And they want to make some cash flow, right? Zero down again, right? So our private lenders terms were 11% interest to him, 7-year term. And our principal and interest payment per month is $760.14. Okay, so that was our private money terms. We then turned around and we sold this deal as is. So once again, we didn't touch the property at all. We sold it as is for $105. We actually listed the property for $95. We had about 5 offers, and the highest offer we got was for $105 with $15,000 down, 10% interest, and we did a 12-year term. So our end buyers payment to us was $1,015.84 per month. Okay, so you see again, this is an as-is deal. We found this deal from a tired landlord. This guy was probably in his 70s. He had 3 properties. He sold us 2. The last property he lives in, he's going to sell us that one when he's ready to sell that one too. But this was an amazing lead, amazing deal. A text lead that we got right here, and it was for $44,394, right? So the P&I is $1,015.84 a month, right? Our buyer put $15,000 down. So at close, this is when I tell you that doing seller financing can give you an assignment fee plus cash flow. We made $15,000 at close, okay? Because we're loaning. We borrowed the full amount. The full amount was zero down. So we made $15,000 up front in cash flow on this deal, and then we're cash flowing $255.04 a month right now. We're on a 7-year term. What we do is, we actually when we pay off a property, we start accelerating those payments from those free and clear properties to the next lowest price property. So like we just paid off a property last month, right? So this property that we paid off last month is now free and clear, right? So we're bringing in about $600 a month free and clear. So now we'll take that plus all the other cash flow we have coming in and put down to the next property, right? So we usually, our goal is to pay off these properties before the 7-year term comes up. But, this one's amortized over 7 years, and we're still making $255.04 a month in cash flow. If our end buyer pays us, and he doesn't refinance or doesn't sell this property before it's 12 years, we'll actually bring in about $169,882 over that term. And after we pay off our debt service, we'll make the $106,000, right, and some change, plus the $15,000 that we made up front. We'll make on this deal. That again, we had zero money down, zero rehab, no tenants. This buyer was an investor. He actually owns multiple properties in the city, right? So I mean, every month on the first, the rent's there. The rent's coming good. He got this thing rented out as far as the body shop and other unit pretty quickly. And this is a deal where we're the bank, right? We're the bank on this deal. So if in the event that he cannot pay, right, and something happened, we got the property back, we have a very, very good piece of property. This is a 3-unit plus a body shop that we got, that we have zero money into, and we've already had the $15,000 down from our buyer, right? So this is another lead where we were able to leverage private money. This is not a seller finance deal. We went out and bought it on terms and wrapped it. We actually went to one of our private lenders, got them to finance this for us. Our private lenders they're making 11%. People say, hey, that's high, right? So, I mean, that is higher than you want to be, but you can see how we still were able to leverage that to make plenty of income for us. So our private lender's happy, we're happy, and most importantly, our end buyer's happy. He's cash flowing right now, right? He's got a property that's bringing in, some good income for him, right? So all, 3 parties in this deal, including the seller, would be the 4th party. We're happy with how that turned out. All right, so I'm gonna stop the share right now and come back in here. So yeah, that was just one of those deals that we did where we were able to find a private lender, and a lot of deals that we do, right? So I know I talk a lot about wraps and buying houses on terms, but the majority of them, probably 60% of them, we're leveraging private financing to go out here and buy these deals, and then we're going to sell them on seller financing again, right? So we take our private money and we arbitrage the price, we arbitrage the interest rate. What's interesting on that one is we're paying more of an interest rate on our private money than what our end buyer is paying us, right? We're actually paying more. So, but as you can see, that doesn't really matter at the end if you're able to go in there and get some good income on that property. So yeah, let me see. I'll break down another deal for you guys if you want real quick. I know some other people in the Facebook group told me that they had some deals they wanted to go over. So if you guys have those, leave them in the chat so we can see them. I'm going to make sure we're streaming in the Facebook group real quick too, because like I said, this is my first time controlling the back office and this usually it's Kevin doing that. But Kevin has some stuff he had to take care of right now. So cool. Yep. We're in there. We're in the Facebook group, which is good. So we're gonna bring on another deal that I kind of went over before. I actually talked about this deal a few times, but I want to go over this one real quick for you guys too, so you can just kind of see it. And we're gonna share the screen again. You guys have no idea. I had to run my kids to the pool before I came out here. I got in here like 12:59. All right. So this deal right here, this is a deal that we actually locked up on seller financing, and I went over this a few times before, but let me go over this for you guys one another time. So this buyer had 3 properties. Okay, he had 3 properties that he sold us on contract for $85,000 each. Okay, and we put down 10% down on each property, so $8,500 per. We got it for 5% interest. Okay, our terms with our seller are 30-year amortization, and we got a 15-year balloon. So with our seller on each property, we're paying $410.67 per month. That's our monthly payment per property. And then we went and leveraged that. And we sold these properties for $100,000 per property, with $13,333 down. Okay, and our buyers at a 7% interest, and he has a 30-year ammo with a 15-year balloon. So our buyer's payment to us is $576.60 per month. Our payment to our seller is $410.67. So we're making, about $165 per month on each deal, and there's 3 of them. So total, we're about $500 per month in cash flow. Our buyer also put down $14,500 as a down payment on all 3. So again, here's a deal where you saw us make this up front on the front end of the deal, and then we sold it to him and got the cash flow too. So here's another deal where you guys can see where this was actually a wrap deal, where with this deal, we have 0 money down again. So the first deal I showed you was private financing. This deal is actually a wrap where we got a seller to agree to seller finance terms, and then we end up wrapping it to an end buyer. And there's a 15-year term on this where we'll be able to bring in, $500 per month on all 3. Plus, we got a nice assignment fee of $14,500 on the front end, which was really, really good too. So that's just 2 of the deals that we've done here in the last few weeks. I think we did that deal like last month is when we did that deal. So we've done those deals in the last few weeks. All right, let me get some questions. Do private money lenders typically want to get paid in full in the short term? So private money lenders depends. It depends on their needs, right? So most of our private money lenders, we have them, we're 7 to 15-year terms. One thing to be important is usually with a private money lender, if you're making sure that their payment shows up on time every month and that 7-year window comes up, they're going to usually be fine with you extending that time out, right? So let's say some of our deals we amortize over 15 years, right? So we have a 15-year amortization, but we have a 7-year balloon, okay, with our private lender. Now, when that 7 years comes up, we're either going to have to pay whatever's due, or we pay the house off in full before that. Now, the majority of our lenders, if we go to them in 7 years, right, we've made every payment on time, like we plan on doing it, they're not going to have any issue extending that out until the length of our loan. Right. So that's how it is for us. Remember, most of these private lenders don't want lump sums of cash. They want the cash flow per month. They want that interest rate. So usually if you talk to them, you're doing good by them, then they'll continue to have those terms go along with you. Is the interest rate to your private money lender flat or APR? It's APR, right? So those are APRs. We do it the same way as a mortgage company would do it. Next question. Do you still get depreciation expense on a land contract with carrying the notes? So we still do get some of those same benefits as far as tax benefits, principal and interest benefits. The depreciation that you get on a rental property, you do not get on a land contract for deed. So that depreciation you don't get, but you still do get some of the other things that you get as far as being a landlord owning a rental. Our end buyer would get the depreciation if it was an investment property. All right, here's a question from Facebook. I have our first official subject to deal, but it's kind of weird, so bear with me. Just want to know what would be the best way in structuring this one, as we already have a buyer on it. All right. I'm gonna see Facebook user how we can try to bring you on. I don't know if we can from Facebook, but I'm gonna try to find out. I don't think we can. If you want to put some details in there, I'll discuss it, but you have to go to YouTube, I think, if I want to bring you on here, because your name is not popping up. Yes, the cash. So the question is, do your cash flow calculations that you're showing in your case studies include the monthly payments to your private money lender? Yes, they do. They do include that. So I'll share my screen to show you that again. so you can see it, just so you can see it. All right. So as you can see right here, my monthly payment to my private money lender is right here. It's $760.14. Okay. So that's what I'm paying him per month on the price at 11% over 7 years. Okay. My buyer's paying me $1,015.84. Okay. So that's where I got the $255.04. I think that's the right math. You can double check if you want. But yes, I'm always including in cash flow any payment I have. Now, remember, when this is a land contract for deed or seller finance deal, I'm not paying any expenses as far as repairs, insurance, and taxes. Okay. So that's why that number is fixed. All right. That's a fixed number right there, because as long as I get paid per month by my end buyer, right, I'm going to make that amount. I'm not paying any expenses that I would have to pay if I was simply bringing this out as an investment property. All right. So that's one thing that I like about being the bank and not being the landlord. Another thing, this property is in Michigan. So it's in Michigan. I'm in Florida. I have a partner in Michigan, but still, even my partner lives about an hour away from where that property is at. So it's not a property that we have any management over, right? We just get our monthly P&I, and every month on the first, that end buyer sends us our P&I payment. It comes in like clockwork, and we collect that P&I like we're any other bank in the world. That's what we're trying to do. Another thing with private money, I know that we spoke last week, me, Kevin, and Dave. This private lender it's a friend. It's a friend of my partner's, right? So, we're not going out reaching out to people that we don't know. These aren't, hard money lenders. These aren't institutional hedge funds. These are people in the community. These are people that are in our cell phones, right? That we contact and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing, right? We're buying homes below market value. We're then selling them on contract for deed land contract. We're bringing in the income, and we would like to see if you would be interested in earning 10 to 11% of your money backed by these transactions. And there's plenty investors out there looking to make some money backed by this. Thanks. Just need to practice and do a few of these. I'm in Southern California, so my number's a little different from yours. Yeah. SoCal, your number's gonna be a lot more higher than mine are. But again, the main key is find a property under value, right? That you can arbitrage the value like that, like we did there. So it can be done anywhere. It's just finding the properties that are undervalued. So it can be done in SoCal, or if you're the bank, you can do it in a different market, right? Miami numbers are totally different than those numbers right there. But we're doing it all over the country because when we're the bank, when it's a seller financing deal, I don't have to worry as much of being a landlord in property management. All right, Teron, I see you in here. So let me see if I can add you on here real quick. Yeah, let's see how to invite you. All right, so I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send this link real quick to your Facebook Messenger. See if you can hop on like that. Go here real quick. There you go. Teron, copy that link, put it into your computer or whatever you're watching on, and try to join in if you can. It should work that way. It definitely should work that way. Just let me know. All right, while we wait for that. Yeah, so what were we asking last time? If you're in SoCal, if you're in Florida, if you're in New York, if you're any of these markets that are very, very high price markets, of course, look for deals out there, right? But also, I would look for some deals in some other markets too that are more cash
I
flow.
think I'm here now.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? I appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, no problem, definitely. So what's up? You got a sub 2 deal, you said, right?
Exactly. So we got a subject 2 deal that we was able to get, and pretty much we have a buyer that's interested in purchasing it. It's actually an investor, and we were looking to sell it on a lease option to him. We have to put down $5,000. He's willing to put down $20,000
Okay.
on the property. But the issue is this: so there's 23 years left on that mortgage, right? And it's 92,000, pretty much 92,000 to pay it off, right? And it's at a 3.2 interest rate. Now the buyer, he's looking to put that $20,000 down, and he's looking to pay it off though within 15 years. Like he's wanting to be done with the term within 15 years. And he's willing to pay us $1,100 a month for that 15-year period. Our payment is only $800 for the mortgage, right? So what I'm looking at is I'm thinking like, okay, we're making $15,000 on the front end, and we'll get $300 cash flow per month in what he's paying us. But with him wanting to close that out in 15 years, and us wanting to, and the mortgage being 23 years, I'm kind of confused on how we would structure that.
Got it. So I was just talking to somebody the other day. So because I got somebody else sent me a JV opportunity on a sub 2 deal, right? And it's the same situation. Okay. Same situation. So one thing too is whenever you're doing sub 2 deals, and a lot of people don't know this, you actually know it because you just said it. Make sure you find out how many payments are left, right? Because a lot of people don't find out how many payments are left. Trying to structure a wrap, not knowing how many payments are left. So
okay.
What's the balance remaining on the sub 2? On the owner's mortgage.
So the balance remaining is 92,000, but I failed to mention that we are actually purchasing it for 110,000 though. 115 and 5,000 down payment makes it 110 left that will be owing them.
And what are you selling it for? How much are you selling it for to the end buyer?
So that's kind of where the issue came into, because he's like, there's not like, we were asking 130,000 for our asking price, right? But if you take 1,100 a month for the next 15 years, that would equal out to 198,000 technically, right? That he would be paying us over the next 15 year for his 15-year period. Is there a way that we can pretty much make that work with the 23-year mortgage that's left?
That 1,100. So you're selling it to him for the same price and interest rate, or is there a difference in there? Your end buyer.
So for our end buyer, we're selling it to him at $1,100 a month with $20,000 down, and we haven't actually come up on the asking price because like he's like, and I think I don't know if that's where our problem is or if we have to state that or whatever that may be, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm stuck at.
That's kind of the issue, because so when you have a situation like that, basically what you have is you have an end buyer who's trying to pay you off before your homeowner is paid off, right?
Right.
Which you gotta make up that difference by either putting the money down on the mortgage at the beginning, right, so that it equals out, or capturing that difference as far as the price that you're selling it to the end buyer, right? So basically, you're doing $1,100 over how many years?
Over 15 years is what it would be.
And what interest rate? Is there an interest rate with the buyer or no?
No, because that's just $1,100 a month.
Okay, so he's gonna pay $198,
and we're paying $800 a month, $797, which I mean $800 a month in on the mortgage at 3.2% interest rate, and that mortgage is 92,000 that's left on it.
Mm. Now,
So I'm wondering, like, do we capture that or?
That $800 a month, does that include taxes and insurance?
Yes.
So that's PITI.
Mm-hmm.
And he's paying you $1,100 just total, so you're just getting the difference on that, right? So he's not paying any taxes or insurance extra. You can make it work. I mean, it's hard for me to just say that here. I need to write some stuff on the board to actually see it. Now,
right.
You gotta set a price though. What you need to do is you gotta set a price and an interest rate to make it work, right? So let me look at my calculator real quick. So
okay,
he wants to be done in 15 years, right?
Yep.
And he wants his total payment to be $1,100 a month, no more. Have you discussed taxes and insurance with him or no?
We haven't even discussed it with him because I just figured it was inside of the mortgage, so that's not something that we need to speak with him about.
Yeah. All right. So you said that they owe how much? 92?
Yeah, they owe 92,000.
And when you said you're buying it for you said 115 or 110?
We're buying it for 115 with 5,000 down that goes towards that 115.
Okay, so you actually did a different loan with them for 115, right? 5,000 down. This was the seller, correct?
Right.
Okay, and then the interest rate is what, 3.2%?
Yes.
All right. Let me just punch the calculator real quick. And then 23 years.
Right. I think the end date is January of 2043. So yeah, 23 years left.
Got it. So the P&I. So I'm assuming the P&I is like $563.55, the principal and interest, and taxes and insurance is on top of that, right? To get to the $800.
Right.
Or is that $800 literally what they're paying right now for the mortgage? Or did you add on some? Are they making some money per month or no? The seller?
So let me actually just pull up the actual. It's right here, actually. Give me 1 second. Okay, so yeah, so the principal is $242.87 right now. The interest is $251.42, and then the escrow, which is the taxes and insurance, is $303, and that adds up to the $797.34, which I'm saying is $800, just to keep, simple numbers.
Got it. Okay. So basically what you got to do, a couple of things. You either have to make up that, because there's 23 years left, right? So you have to make sure that in 15 years you can pay off that 23 years which is left, right? Literally, like you can't.
Okay.
You can't have him pay you off in 15 years, want a free and clear house, okay? And there's still 8 years left.
Right.
So you got to sit down and kind of mess with the numbers to figure out how you can get to that point, either by making them making that $1,100 a month, or figuring. Usually, what I do is I figure out the P&I, the principal and interest, then I add the taxes and insurance on top of that to make it more cleaner. That's how I do it, right? So I figure out what is the tax
for the buyer.
For the buyer, yeah, yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then that way you can figure out some real amortization terms to get to the number you want. Because you got to make up you got to make up taxes. You got to make up 8 years right now, basically, right? So you can take a portion of down payment to make it up, right? Let's say if you put a portion of down payment and put on the house, and that brings it down some, you can use that, or you got to raise that P&I payment up where you're giving more to principal and interest per month to make that difference. If not, you got to have the difference at the end of 15 years to say, hey, here, I'm going to pay you off. To the seller.
Okay.
So
we pretty much catching up 8 years.
Yeah, if you send me a message with the terms and stuff, I can actually go on my calculator later on today and give you some suggestions on how the best way to do that is. I'd have to actually sit down and look at the numbers.
Okay, yeah, I definitely will. Will. But yeah, we're working on it right now. So and both of them are pretty flexible too. So if there's another way that you feel like it might work, just definitely give me a holler, because this is our first one. We just wrapped it up. So I've been watching y'all, man, and it really helped me out. I appreciate it.
Both the seller and the buyer are flexible?
Both of them are flexible for the most part. Well, the sellers, we're pretty much locked in with the seller on those terms already.
Okay.
But they're not like, like we need to be out here tomorrow type of thing. They're definitely on something where, it's over the next 30 days, so we can make it work out. We kind of got stuff out there right now that we're looking for a lease option buyer. But
Okay.
this guy came up and he's an investor, and he would like to do it that way. And I feel like it's a solid way to do it. But if there's another way in structuring it with the buyer, he's super flexible. He's just trying to figure out how we can make it work.
Okay. Yeah. Send me a message, man, with the details in it, and I'll take some time today, go through my calculator and try to figure out, because that's not abnormal. I've talked to probably 2 people in the last 2 weeks of the same issue, right? Like the other 2 people didn't even know how many payments were left. They were just like, "Hey, I set these terms for a wrap," and I'm like, "Well, how many payments does your seller have left?" They're like, "I don't know." I think we better find out, because if you set a 10-year term, they got 20 years left. You're going to be stuck, right? So, yeah, send me a message, and I'll try to help you out later on today with that.
Okay, appreciate it, man.
All right, man. All right, Teron. Thanks, man.
All right.
Yep. Peace. Got it. Yeah, that's one thing with sub 2s, and we actually have been doing some JV deals over the last month, and a lot of people are sending me sub 2 deals, and they forget to ever give me the amount of information about how many payments are left. And that's the first one of the first things you got to find out is how many payments are left on that loan, right? That's one of the first things you need to figure out, because without that, you really can't determine what your end wrap buyer is gonna pay. So I missed the first example of you using private money. Will you be doing another example throughout the live? Yeah, I can do another one right now. Let me pull up another one real quick for you. Real quick. I don't want to show the same as that one we already showed. So let me find one more real quick for you. All right, so this house right now that I'm gonna show you guys. All right, so I'll just kind of go over the numbers with you guys real quick, because we literally just closed this one. We closed this one in April. Again, we've been doing a lot of deals, man. So during the coronavirus pandemic, which of course is still going on, but during the height of it, a lot of title companies weren't even doing deals, right? Title companies weren't closing deals. Mortgage companies dried up, but we had a ton of seller finance deals in our books, so we were able to continue to push those through, because we originate and close them ourselves. So March and April were some, April and May were some really big months for us, because we were one of the only people that were out there actually able to still do deals, because we were doing seller financing. So the pandemic actually brought us some really good times. But we did one house. This one was in Michigan too. So we picked up a house for $42,253, right? So that was the price that we paid for it. We got private financing again from the same private lender at 11%, right? So 11% was our private financing, and our payment to our lender was $537.07. Okay, so we got a house, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Our price all in with closing costs was $42,253. We marketed the house as is. Again, I've done rehab on maybe 2 houses in the last 2 years. They were very, very light rehabs, but everything that we do, we get it, we sell it as is instead of financing, right? So we marketed this house for $95,000 with $10,000 down. So we picked it up for $42,253. We sold it for $95,000, $10,000 down, 10% interest, and we did this one in a 30-year term. Right, so this was actually to a homeowner. So we did 30 years, and we don't mind doing 30-year terms, because again, my private money is going to be paid off in 7 years, and that gives us 23 years, right, of free and clear cash flow. So we actually like those 30-year terms, right? So our end buyer's payment per month was $745.93, right? So her $85,000 balance, because it was $95,000, $10,000 down, right? She had a balance of $85,000 at 10% over 30 years. So her payment to us per month is $745.93. Our payment to our lender is $537.07. So we're cash flowing about 208.86 per month. We made $10,000 up front from down payment because our private money was 100%. And then we'll bring in, over the life of the loan, I'd have to put in a calculator, but we're probably bringing close to, 180, 190 grand over the life of that loan. So another deal where, we use private money. We got a deal for 40,000. We got money at 11%. We loaned it out at 10% on seller financing, right? Zero money down. If you bring these deals to private investors, it's not hard for us to sell these to private investors, right? When I showed them the deal, I showed them, hey, look, I got the house for this. We're selling it for this much. This is what our end buyer's paying, right? Now my partner who does a lot of the raising the private money, right? He does a lot of that too. He says it's the easiest sell he's ever done because, these private lenders see what we're doing. They see the numbers and they're open, right? So it's just learning how to create those actual notes in the back end, and then finding the private money, man. Especially right now, right? The pandemic happened, but there's so much money in the street right now. There's so much money between the stock market, between people already having money from the last 8 to 10 years. There's money everywhere looking for good deals, right? Find a good deal, right? Bring it to some private lenders. If you're not experienced, partner with somebody who is experienced, who can give you that experience to give them that security, right? And go raise some money and find some of these deals. So I just wanted to go over that today with you guys. If you got any more questions, let me know. If not, we'll log off and see you guys here next week. We will start doing, so I had to initially plan on doing this tonight, but since Kevin couldn't show up, I thought I would just do this at 1:00. But every Wednesday, we're going to start a breakdown where we actually break down, one of the deals that we closed in the week prior. So we will start doing this in the group and on the YouTube page. Once again, join the Facebook group, Shut Up and Invest. We got the membership very, very soon. We got our free investing training going to be done in the group here very, very soon. Keep sending us your questions, guys. We'll answer them as fast as we can. And have a good day and shut up and invest.